At the table, preparing for your first evaluation planning meeting for your child. The first step in the process of special education is the identification or recognition that a child may be in need of special education services. The next step is planning for the evaluation, which will determine if the child qualifies for special education. This webinar will help parents prepare to work with the school to develop an evaluation plan for the child. Schools typically involve parents in planning the evaluation at an evaluation planning meeting. The plan is developed after discussion between district staff and parents, all of whom provide input in determining all areas of suspected disability and the resulting special education needs. Please note that this process applies to all public schools, including charter schools. It's important to be as well prepared for this meeting as you can. Long after the last teacher or therapist has disappeared from your child's life, you will be there to support and encourage your child. Will he or she be prepared for the future? You can make the difference now by asking questions, helping develop your child's program and evaluation plan. The evaluation planning meeting is a very important meeting because your child's evaluation establishes whether or not he or she qualifies for special education, and it clarifies the services and supports your child needs. School evaluation is the process for determining whether a child meets state disability criteria for eligibility and, as a result, needs special education and related services. Having a medical diagnosis of a particular disability is not a guarantee of special education qualification. The child must have a disability, even if it is not medically diagnosed, and meet the eligibility standards set by the state in one or more special education categories. A private or outside evaluation can provide helpful information, but is not used to establish eligibility for special education. A school evaluation must be done before any special education or related services may be provided for a child with a disability, and eligible students must be re-evaluated at least once every 3 years. This webinar deals with the initial evaluation. Parents know their child as no one else can. Parents are also a child's best and longest lasting advocate. Parents come from the perspective of lifelong, intimate knowledge and connection to the child. Do not underestimate what you know about your child. As stated in the introduction, schools typically involve parents in planning the evaluation at an evaluation planning meeting. The plan is developed after discussion between district staff and parents, all of whom provide input in determining all areas of suspected disability. Parents should receive a written notice listing who will attend the meeting. Parents must also be involved to some degree in evaluation planning, even if they cannot attend the meeting. Parents may also choose to invite others to the meeting if they think these persons have expertise or knowledge of the child that will benefit the planning. School staff who do the actual evaluation usually attend the meeting also. You can prepare for this meeting by making a list of your concerns about your child's education. We will talk more about this in a minute. People often think of tests when they hear the word evaluation. Special education evaluation involves more than tests, however. Professionals may observe your child, administer tests, and use other procedures such as interviews, including interviews with you, the parents, to assess your child's needs. The evaluation must be done in a non-discriminatory way. The evaluation may not be biased due to the disability, language, or mode of communication used by the child, or by any cultural, racial, or other factors that may affect the validity or accuracy of the test results. So, if your child will be evaluated soon, how can you prepare for the discussion of what will be included in the evaluation? As the expert on your child, you, the parent, have valuable information to share with the people who will interact with your child. Evaluation involves gathering information to determine whether a child has a qualifying disability and, using the results, decide on any special education and related services the child needs. Because your child's education program will be based on the evaluation results, it's important to be sure the evaluation is complete and accurate. Evaluation should identify the things your child does well in addition to those things that are difficult. School professionals will assess your child's needs. Areas of needs may include health, speech and language abilities, emotional and social functioning, general intelligence, academic performance, sensory functioning such as vision and hearing, vocational interests and ability, motor abilities including gross and fine or muscle skills and what needs are, functional skills such as activities of everyday life, and transition to adulthood skills when age appropriate. If parents in schools do not have a concern in a specific area, that area does not need to be evaluated. Or if parents in schools agree that they already have enough information in a given area, that area does not need to be evaluated, but the information should be included in the summary report. Next, after looking at the list of evaluation areas given on the previous slide, think about areas you have concerns for your child. Share your concerns with the school staff and expect that those areas will be evaluated. If you request additional evaluation, you don't need to know the name of tests or methods of evaluation. You can simply say, I have a concern about my child's handwriting. How can we evaluate how he compares to his peers in that area? Or, my child isn't crawling yet. My other child was crawling by this time. How will this evaluation show if this is typical or not? Another example, at home I've noticed that my child never seems to follow more than one-step directions. At this age, I think he should be able to do more than that. How does he do at school? How might this skill be evaluated? And he struggles so much with homework every night, he doesn't seem to remember the directions. What evaluation can be done to determine the cause of this? As you can see from these examples, parents can bring their learning-related concerns to the evaluation team. The parent has made an observation, noted a concern, and brings it to the evaluation team in the form of a question. The school team will then use their expertise to figure out how to measure or evaluate the child's status or performance in that area of concern. If your child has a medical or specific diagnosed disability, parents can be knowledgeable about that disability. An evaluation must assess your child in all areas of suspected disability. It will identify all needs, even those not commonly linked to your child's disability category. Questions might include: what are the typical symptoms or characteristics of this disability? Does your child have all or some of them? Does my child have more than one disability? If so, what is the impact of these combined disabilities? Disability labels can be misleading or lead to inaccurate assumptions. How does this disability affect your child in school as a unique individual? In addition to understanding your child's disability, just take a common sense look at your child. For example, what is your child good at? What are his or her strengths in areas such as getting along with peers, sports, hobbies, or friendships? What are his or her interests? What are your concerns in regard to education? In what areas do you think your child is learning more slowly than his or her peers? The special education evaluators are trying to capture an accurate picture of your child at school. You may have information that will help them do so. For example, you may say, Timmy is shy around people he does not know. The evaluator may need to spend a few minutes just playing with him. Or, Erin's behavior is different on different days, so please test her over a few days, not just one. Cole gives up easily. It's okay to continue to have him try because encouragement seems to help him not give up. Another example is, Betsy is anxious and may do poorly if she knows she's being timed. And it is best if my child knows which days he will be evaluated. Once the parents in school have discussed what areas should be evaluated, the school will write up an evaluation plan and ask the parents to sign agreement with the plan. The initial evaluation cannot begin without parents' written permission to evaluate. If you look at the written plan and disagree with it in any way, contact the evaluation lead person whose name will be on the form, ask your questions, and sign no if necessary. The school will then work with you to resolve any disagreements. Once parents agree and sign that the evaluation may begin, the evaluation must be completed within 30 school days. At this point, the parent usually meets with the school where the evaluation results are explained, and the team, which includes the parent, determines if the child qualifies for special education. If the child does qualify and the parents agree that the child needs special education services, an IEP, Individualized Education Program, team, which includes the parents, will meet to develop the special education program for the child. If the child does not qualify, Section 504 eligibility and accommodations are often discussed. For more information about Section 504, call Pacer Center or ask your school district. If the child is eligible, but the parents do not wish the child to receive services, no IEP will be developed until the parents agree that the child needs services. If you need any more information on this topic, feel free to contact any of these people or agencies listed on the slide. Thank you.